All right. Let's go. We got ourselves a big series between Onside Gaming Solar in the bottom right side and his perpetual, not nemesis, but rival. A player who is almost always tied to him with a 50% win rate. It's BYUN in the top left, representing Shopify Rebellion. And BYUN is going command center first into 4 barracks. Oh me, oh my. Solar at this point, no doubt commenting on, hey buddy, why is there no Reaper? What are you doing? What are you doing? I'm sure someone in the comments will translate this for us, so big shout out to you, whoever does that. Thank you very much for the support. A big shout out to the runners of this tournament, by the way. This was from the Harrisburg University Virtual Clash, I believe it was called. $3,500 tournament, massive prize pool for an online tournament that they hosted their first one. And we had a really amazing showing. Tons of players like Maru, Solar, Cure, Dark, BYUN, all signing up and playing this. A lot of fantastically close matches as well. And I did ask the replays from the organizer, and they said, you know what, if you'd be able to share this link for feedback, we'd love to get it. So if you want to help them out, and the more feedback they get, apparently there's more chances they'll host more tournaments in the future. Go to the link down below in the description if you're watching on YouTube, fill out that survey, and just give them a bit of feedback on the tournament, any info you can, and hopefully we get more tournaments from those beautiful university funding, eh? For me, personally, I'm thinking, hey, those ridiculous university fees, those alumni fundraisers, those ridiculous student loan money going into their pockets, let's use it for StarCraft tournaments. Personally, that's what I'm keen for. I'm sick of relying on billionaires giving us all of our esports money. You know, we're always relying on some billionaire chucking some dollars our ways, but it's always nice to get some institutional events getting organized. Now, Solar doesn't really know what's going on. He has got ling speed. If he runs up that ramp, that's an immense amount of Marines. You can see he's kind of scouting because he wants to make sure he doesn't miss anything. He's got 8 Queens on the way. Notice he doesn't have any Overlords out front because he knows Marines could come out and kill them all. Just an Overlord on the pillar. And he needs to start making a lot of Zerglings very soon. Oh no, he pulled back. He sees it. That's a lot of Marines, man. Okay, guys, mass Zergling on the way. He does not have a Baneling Nest nor a Roach Horn. He's going to be, I think he just pulls every Queen to the front. That's what I would do. Oh, he gets in. He sees the factory is not quite finished. He knows this is a big commitment. That's going to be about 20 Marines in the first wave, guys. I think, every Queen to the front is a good idea. If you're relying on pure Queen Ling defense, you can build new Queens to replace these ones. He is missing a Queen in the main right now, but it's all about the Zerglings double Evo Chamber on the way as well. I like the Queen split here. The Marines are going to have to be very careful because those Lings are going to come in and go for it. Good transfuses for Solar. BYUN gets rid of one of them, but those Lings are going to wrap around. Nice wrap around. Oh, delicious micro there. I think Solar maybe could have wrapped around a little better, but it's a good fight anyway. That's a good fight, man. Cleaning that up is devastating for BYUN. BYUN loses 1,250 resources. That's 25 Marines, and he is down in the units lost. And that is, of course, against a Zerg who has 3 bases mining. You haven't even started your 3rd command center as BYUN. BYUN finds himself, how do I describe this for maybe the less expert StarCraft players? Okay, so BYUN right now, normally Terran vs Zerg is a hard-fought matchup that could be fought on, if you imagined a battlefield, say a empty plain where the armies rank up and fight. Now, Solar basically has just turned this into a swamp, and BYUN, the rest of this game is going to have to march into the swamp, and when he's maybe not knee-deep, maybe shoulder-deep in that mark, he's going to realize it's not just swamp mark, it's also the excretion from the nearby Zerg city that gets pumped out there through the sewerage pipes. He's basically in a swamp of boggy excrement. It's going to be really bloody hard for him to get out of here. When you go for a Marine build like this and you lose your whole first army cost inefficiently, it's a disaster. Because now the Zerg has unperturbed creep spread. They get a 4th base. They get their double upgrades, which is already a sort of greedy thing. They're going to have Baneling speed by the time a next serious attack gets. Trying to get anything done here, I mean, it's going to take that BYUN magic and wizardry. Now, to be fair, last time we cast a BYUN Solar series, he fell far behind in a game and came back with a crazy 8 barracks, every single barracks on a reactor, mass Marine, medevac YOLO style. It literally was just, hey, there's 4 medevacs here, they're going to pick up and boost in here. There's 60 Marines on the other side, they're going to stim in and just try to gun down Banelings. So I'm pretty sure BYUN's go-to when he's behind against Solar is just make a silly amount of Marines, kind of gamble, YOLO, dive into dangerous positions with absolutely no care for your safety, and just look for those magical engagements. Case in point, gets a few Banelings there. 3 Banelings for 2 Marines, not a bad trade. 3rd command center morphing into an orbital command. +2 attack does start here for BYUN. He's got the armory on the way now. That's a 5th base for Solar. Solar's on 73 workers. Baneling speed is almost ready. Doesn't have a lot of anti-air control in the main base. His Overlord vision is not great either. He hasn't replaced the Overlords on the edges, which is very sloppy from Solar to have his Overlord vision back so far. On the other hand, his units are expertly positioned anyway because he expected these moves out of BYUN. Oh! Yeah, only gets 1 Baneling for 2 Marines that time. Bit better for Solar in that trade. Marines come in from the north as well. He's only got 2 medevacs, and that is more than 16 Marines, but only by a few. He's happy to leave a few of these Marines behind in the interests of trying to find a good trade. 2-2's on the way right now for both sides. Oh, good focus on a few Banes. Saves 16 Marines. Pulls back. Marines on the other side going to stim in down there. This is it. Mass Marine. He's building a second factory in Widow Mines right now, so he's trying to add a little bit of explosive power to this army. No transfuse left there for Solar. You don't want to lose those medevacs. Those queens are chasing that Reddit point medevac. Good pick up and pull back. If he fumbled that even a little bit, then one of those medevacs could have gone down. Now, these 2 Zerglings hiding. This one's in the shade. That one's in the sun. Do Zerglings get skin cancer, guys? I'm pretty sure their lives are too short. They probably get a whole lot of diseases, and there's probably a lot of like genetic, inefficiencies that don't really matter because they don't really plan to ever live past like a year old anyway. 4th command center is on the way. 3 more barracks building. This should be a tech lab, I would imagine. BYUN's trying to get to a macro game. Tech lab does go down. Double drop on the far right. No hive in sight for Solar. Solar, infestation pit's done. Zergling runs in. The other 2 are still up there in the shade. Where's that hive? I'm expecting hive soon. If he doesn't go for it, we might see Solar just go for a big attack. As I say that, the hive does start up. Big spreading of units through the middle. Only 68 workers on 3 base for BYUN, up against a 5 base, 82 drone Zerg. Solar has his whole army together right now. Nothing on the south, which is kind of lazy. Guys, the one way you can lose in this game is if you don't split your army up. Okay, there we go. He's got a squad on the north of Lingbane. No Hydras with it, surprisingly. And Lingbane Hydra on the south. He's going to go forward with just part of his army to start. We don't mind get a few decent shots. Marine Marauder stutter stepping back. Units lost tab is almost double in favor of BYUN. If he can keep trading like that and stop Solar just leaning his massive numbers on him, then he'll be okay. But I feel like if Solar was Dark, if Dark was in Solar's shoes, he'd just grab his whole army and go kill BYUN right now. I don't think BYUN can defend the numbers advantage. There's so many Banelings. 35 Banelings, 70 Zerglings, 9 Hydras. There's a few Widow Mines, 60 Marines, a couple Marauders. BYUN needs a lot of time to get back in this game. And right now, Solar is giving it to him. I've always been pointing out that Solar's one of the best macro players of all times. But defensive macro players have a weakness, and that is the fact that they are a little bit, prone to chilling out when they could be winning the game. Getting some good fights, though. Most players feel a lot more pressure to go win the game when they have an advantage. Solar does not, because he is so good in the late game. He also, in a best of 5 like this, is likely to mix in an all-in, whether it be a Baneling bust or a big Ravager Ling all-in in at least 1 game. But other than that, it's going to be extremely defensive macro play, looking for Vipers, looking for Lurkers. Especially against a Widow Mine style, Lurkers will be massive, and with their upgrades now starting, probably about 2.5, 3 minutes until we see a big wave of Lurkers and a giant attack of those. BYUN, his time is running out, man. He's on mostly Marines, a few Widow Mines, a few Marauders. Lurkers counter this army pretty hard. The Lingbane Hydra's going to deny the 4th. It's wide open. The army is nearby, but those SCVs are going to take a lot of damage. Ooh, Hydras are cornered. Hydras are cornered. Good catch for BYUN. Very good catch for BYUN. BYUN is still at about 2-to-1 units lost. Almost exactly that. Creep in the north getting controlled as well. BYUN's doing a pretty good job, despite having the worst end of the early game. Solar loses his 6th base up here on the front. Baneling's getting caught as well, just after morphing. Dude, the value is stacking up. But he's so deep on creep over here. I don't know, he might be getting a bit ahead of himself. This is very risky. You need to play risky to get back in a game. BYUN might be taking it too far, though. It's 65 workers. Die or try. Oh my god, he's trying to get in there. The Banelings get some good connections before BYUN reacts. Slow initial reaction. And he's a bit slow on the pickup. Medevac's getting shot down by Hydras as well. Bad micro for BYUN. Very bad micro for BYUN. He's trying to attack on the other side at the same time. He's going to lose every Marine on the bottom. That's a disaster. as I said, a bit too deep on creep, trying to push the issue a little bit without having the artillery to back it up, and that was a disastrous engagement. He goes from a 2-to-1 units lost ratio in his favor to only being at a few thousand now. Still, normally that would look like a good units lost, but not with where his worker count's at. It's 65 workers. He's building a few command centers now, trying to get to a late game, but you need 75, 80 workers. You need to be building up more money as BYUN. Otherwise, he will not be able to compete with the endless resources of a 90 drone Zerg. Solar has this game pretty well locked down now. He'll respread his creep, take his new bases, and as that second lurker upgrade kicks in, I expect a big morph of lurkers when he gets some gas bank and him just going for the killing blow. If not before then, he might just blow this base up. Three-two upgrades versus 2-2 in favor of BYUN right now. The spread of his Marines, not something Zerg wants to attack him. This is a bad attack for Solar, right? Vipers just walk into the Marines and die. What is he doing, Solar? Man, this is the problem that happens for a player who's too defensive. Sometimes when they start attacking, they look like they're just out of their element, you know? You've taken them out of their plaything. Oh, here we go. Now this is a much better fight. There we go. Oh my god, crazy bailing attack. Get some good connections on the Marines. Solar still has endless money here. Planetary does lift. Nice pick up there for BYUN. That's a 5th base, remember, for BYUN. He's also got extra orbitals in the main. He needs to turn these all into orbitals. He needs to get that planetary morphed, and he needs to repair it. BYUN still trading pretty nicely, but the lurkers are coming in. There's no answer to those lurkers. Solar's been ahead for a while. Finally, those lurkers hit the field, and BYUN's trapped between a rock and a lurker place. For those who don't know, lurkers shoot spines up through the ground, and they stab from beneath. Let's just say, unless you've got extra gooch plating, you're going to die in a terrible, terrible way as that spike reaches up from beneath you and rips you in half. And that's exactly what Solar does there. All right, guys. Going into game 2, we've got Solar in the top right side going for a gas pool. Looking at blind counter, a low ground Reaper wall off, and he hits the mark. That is delicious. That's really good for Solar. This build, I feel like, sucks if they go for a normal 1-Rax expand. But against the 2-Rax Reaper, you get a very early link speed. You shut down the Reaper control, and you have the option. Oh no, it's 3-Rax as well. It's not even a 2-Rax Reaper, it's a 3-Rax Reaper. BYUN is going for a highly aggressive build, and he might find himself down 0-2 in this series. Because Solar could potentially just Baneling bust him as well. If he surrounds the first Reapers with the early link speed, Baneling busts through this depot, he might just be able to kill BYUN with the counterattack when BYUN's building like reactors and tech labs and stuff. Yeah, this is going to be tough, man. The map is Hecate, of course, a fantastic map. It's one of the prettiest. It has these beautiful, beautiful kind of gnarled, kind of dead-looking trees, but they've got like creepers and all these flowers going across them, these beautiful moonlit flowers. You've got bloody glowing plants everywhere and stuff. It's a bloody stunning map. Aesthetically, it's beautiful. Little firefly dots going up. First Reaper's going to come in. He's going to see that late hatchery, and BYUN's going to go, oh, okay, I better watch out. This is clearly a pull first. He sees Ling Speed's already upgrading. He sees a single worker mining gas. Oh, does he get a drone? No way. Oh, he blocked the spore trick. Nicely done, Solar. Oh my god, Solar just lost 2 drones. I take it back, guys. Solar's like, haha, I hard countered your Reaper opening. And then he literally shits the bed just not microing correctly. That was a disaster. He did not need to move his queen to his natural that early. Number 1. And number 2, he should have got those spore tricks down in time. Losing 2 drones when you've already hurt your own economy to do this build is a disaster. Now, keep in mind, guys, this is where BYUN should have already swapped into marine production and add-ons and a command center. But because he's BYUN feels like I've done damage and I'm also the best Reaper micro player in the world. So I'm going to keep building Reapers into a guy that's already got Ling Speed. And I'm just going to keep microing and out-micro you and do damage anyway. So this is where BYUN is basically going to choose the wrong strategy with the right micro. He's going to say, my mechanics are so good, I'm just going to YOLO with Reapers and then kill you anyway because I'm an idiot. Oh, thank you so much. Chat says, what a scam. Solar, apparently that's what Solar said. What a scam. That's hilarious. Well, BYUN's actually keeping his Reapers at home. I think probably because he's worried about a Baneling all-in or something like that. Solar's opening sucks. He's droning up now. Keep in mind, the command center is pretty late for BYUN, so I don't think it's the end of the world. You can definitely get back in this for Solar. I would not call this game over. Oh, you lost 2 drones. Etsy lost 2 drones. He had to build 15 Zerglings, but he did build 7 Reapers, man. But of course, BYUN cannot keep it in his pants, so he's going to come across the map and get these surrounded, isn't he? The moment an Overlord sees these, I'm pretty sure Solo will build another 15 Zerglings and move out. Let's check his production tab. He might not want to get baited into building more Zerglings because he wants more drones. Keep an eye on that Solar production tab. BYUN's trying to bait him into building a lot of Zerglings. Solar's not taking the bait. He's just building drones and queens. Yeah. Solar's playing really disciplined. He's like, nah, you know that if you throw those Reapers away, I'm in a really good spot. So you're just trying to scare me into building a lot of fighting units and then run away without actually letting me surround them. I get a creep tumor. Oh, it's quick, but does get it the second time. Stims on the way, as well as a starport and a factory. Now, the great thing here for Solar is you don't need to scout, because a 3 Rex Reaper is always followed up with a 3 Barracks Marine medevac build. There is no other transition off this in pro play. If we start to see one, I'll let you guys know about it. But as far as I've seen, this has been 95% plus. It's always, hey, 3 Rex +1, get medevacs. Once he swaps off, the factory will build a tech lab. He'll start building siege tanks almost always with this. And then he's just going to be very aggressive on 2 base while taking a delayed third, somewhere between, I think often about 550 is when the 3rd command center goes down. But sometimes even later than that. Sometimes the Terran goes all in on 2 base. And this map has brutal bridges. These ramps and bridges are very, very nasty choke points for Zerg to fight. But because there's a lot of paths on this map, Zerg normally wants to counterattack rather than fighting in those choke points. If they see a Terran tank push coming, they just go around and counterattack. There's on the way as well as a Bailey Nest. Carapace is about halfway complete. Not too far behind the +1 weapons of the Terran. Coming up on 6 minutes, still no 3rd command center for Terran. Zergling tries to get in, but the depot raises, blocks it. 8 queens, 37 Zerglings, a lot of Marines, not to mention the Reaper grenades can really disrupt you here. Bailey Nest is not ready just yet. I think this is a wise pullback for Solar. Scan comes in, a couple of creep tumors go down. BYUN's got Stim, +1 is about to kick in 1 second. Queens come forward, nice transfuses. Lings come in from both sides, beautiful surround. Beautiful surround, he's gonna focus the medevacs. 1 medevac goes down, great grenade. Oh, the Lings have all gone down. The Queens are starting to fall, no way. I don't think this works out for BYUN, it's so close, it's so close. Solar's on 60 drones, which is really greedy against this, and it might just be a bit too greedy for him. Oh, he was just shy. Oh my god, he's gonna kill combat shields with a single Zergling. Dude. Oh my god, he's trying to drop a mule to repair it, but it doesn't get there in time. BYUN was staring at his micro on the front so much that a single Zergling just killed combat shields. That is amazing. It still was pretty good damage. Killed a ton of queens, lost mining time. And look, units lost tab looks great, but you gotta keep in mind, there's no 3rd command center. So good damage isn't really that great if your 3rd's only starting at 7 minutes. Like, BYUN's next attack still needs to get good damage. He killed enough army, like he killed so many Zerglings, right? 65 Zerglings, 7 queens. He might still get damage done with the next attack, but he has that pressure on. He needs to get that damage. Solar trying to build a 4th base. No macro hatchery for him just yet. He's only got 5 queens, trying to build 2 more. His creep has been very pushed back, and the next Marine tank push is going to be scary, but no combat shields ready for another minute. A whole minute on combat shields due to a single Zergling. Dude, if he had combat shields, I think he might be able to kill Solar right now. But without it, he has to be a little bit more cautious. That tank not sieging in the best position. This one's a bit better. The reason that's not great is Lings can surround it. You want to be up against the wall to limit surface area if the Zergling surrounds. Queen goes down, hatchery taking damage, as does a few drones. The Marines do a second stim. They got to be careful though. There are tanks on that left side. Nice hot pickup. Great Ling flank. Banelings getting in there as well. The Lings, the Queens, the Banelings go in. The Banelings do blow up on the tanks, so he's got to pull back now to Solar. Kill the tanks, pull back. Creep tumors should go down here to replace what got cleared. And more Lings and Banes should be on the way. Wow, there's a drop in the main right now. 8 Marine drop got in the main. I didn't see that. Sorry, guys. Wow. Okay, Solar F2's back to the front. The Queens will defend though. Remember, these are non-combat shield Marines. This is definitely an issue for BYUN. BYUN's 3rd base has finished behind it. He's keeping Solar on a low work account. He's disrupting him. The creep is very bad on the left side. If Solar can keep spreading this creep tumor and this one, that could be okay. I actually think it's more important for him to spread this direction. But I guess either way, as long as he branches south towards that ramp, the creep will be very helpful. Hydrodon's on the way as well as +2 Carapace. 2 more queens are building. Going to go up to 10 queens. Bit of an odd choice to keep building queens this late. But I guess he's just like, man, anything I can do to hang on. No macro hatch, remember? Solar's kind of struggling to spend his money a little bit, and he's got 16 banelings. Tanks are going to take up position yet again in the exact same spot. I think BYUN should only run forward with 8 Marines this time, not his whole squad. He's going to move forward with 16. That's a pretty crazy move, man. The Ling Bane's going to go for it. Mass Lings around on the left. Banelings go for the Marines. Banelings do jump on top here. The tanks are both going to go down. A bit of an overcommitment there for BYUN. Letting his tanks go down is huge because he can only build those one at a time. Ling's trying to respond without a queen here to do damage to the medevac. It's very frustrating, but you can see Solar's targeted the medevac now, and that's going to make it very hard to repeat this. 4th base up with 21 workers on it right now. Main a little undersaturated. Natural's doing, it's doing okay. 1 drone missing on the gas, but that's all right. Hydra upgrades coming in. They'll help a lot. Of course, Widow Mines are not being built. It's all tanks. Oh, BYUN. Okay, the scan barely gets that tumor. 3rd base landed. BYUN needs to transfer his workers. He's massively oversaturated, guys. He needs a 4th base as well. BYUN is not paying attention to his mining. Look at these bases. They're both oversaturated. He finally transfers some workers from the natural and some from the main, but he took a while to do that. You can see he's all focused on trying to beat Solar down. 71 workers for Solar. Infestation pits on the way. Still playing single Evo chamber, which I admire. I think in this sort of game, you don't really have the money to do everything at once, so double Evo chamber becomes a little bit more controversial of a choice. Overlord speed is on the way. Hydra upgrade number 1 is finished. Number 2 is on the way. Interestingly, vehicle plating for BYUN, which tells me he's swapping into Widow Mines. Yeah, because otherwise you'd go vehicle weapons if you were staying on siege tanks, but he's decided to swap into Widow Mines right as Hydra Infesta comes out, which kind of wrecks Widow Mines. I think he'll probably swap back to siege tanks in the near future. 5th hatchery gets cancelled. Nice reaction by Solar to not let that die. There's double drop on the left, but plenty of Lingbane Hydra there to respond. And I love this split of Hydras. In that last game, he often had all his Hydras in one army. No, Solar! Back to the left with you. He grouped his whole army for a moment there, thinking he wanted to collapse on the army on the right. Oh, BYUN does lose only a Marine there, a bit of damage on the medevac. Oh, great tank position. That tank position is so good, man. There's a tank there and a tank up there. The Marine's in the middle, creating a big indentation in the creep spread right now. Fungal whiffs. First Fungal completely whiffs. BYUN, oh man, look at it. The Lingbane infested there. The tank's being left alone right now. Only a few Marines guarding them. Big Doom drop in the main. Double drop coming around the backside as well. Solar hates playing against this stuff. BYUN is so annoying with these drops, but Solar is one of the best at defending it. He's got to stay calm. He's got to stay cool and collected. Queens do stop the rotation. Tank gets a few shots off nicely. Medevacs pull back on the left. Hydra's not quite able to snipe it. Units lost time is 2,500 resources in favor of BYUN right now. Lingbane Hydra's going to clean up this tank position. Solar's had enough. He's like, screw this. Let's kill these guys. Lings will get on top of that siege tank. Infesta's looking for the fungal. If he could fungal those medevacs and get him with Hydras, that'd be huge. But of course, BYUN once again goes for the dive into the main. There is right now only 1 factory, but there is 8 barracks. BYUN has added tech labs at home, guys. He's got tech lab barracks building. He's got the double engineering bay with 2-2 upgrades, so he's slightly out on upgrades. He does need to start his +3, but of course, it's all momentum and aggression for him. A biomine army gathering on the left. If he catches that Lingbane Hydra army, this could be great. But if they flank him from behind while other units come from the front, it could turn in Solar's favor. Queen's in the front. Lingbane Hydra in the rear with the gear. Those Widow Mines could get a lot of friendly fire. Oh, they killed so many Zerglings. He needs to get a few Banelings on those Widow Mines. He cannot let those fire again. Great Widow Mine shots, though. It was a lot of Widow Mines, to be fair. Killed a good 50 Zerglings or so. Still about 3,600 resources ahead for BYUN. BYUN's economy not too far behind. He's got a 4th base up. 62 workers versus 68. That favors the Terran. And as long as he's trading more efficiently while being on very similar workers, I would definitely say he's in a better position. 3-3 has started for him. Whilst the second Evo chamber is coming in, along with the Lurkaden, we should see probably range +1 and +3 carapace in the near future. Solar's kind of broke. He doesn't have a lot of money, and it's all just this giant army, and I need to find good fights. That's essentially his mentality. Luckily for him, there's only 1 siege tank, and he's got a lot of Hydras and a couple of Infestors. He's now adding Vipers as well. 2 Vipers are out. The Spellcasters can really ruin BYUN's day, and the lack of tanks means he's very weak to Lurkers when they hit the field as well. He's so deep on creep right now. The drop on the right is distracting Solar. Otherwise, Solar could have sandwiched this army in the middle. Instead, Solar's trying to just buy time right now. Bio moving up to the left, over on the right side. That drop does get shot down. Nicely done there by Solar. He's doing a good job of keeping back BYUN. Ling's running in from the right, a little bit sloppy there. He's got to come in from every side if he can. The Infestors, the flank a bit slow. The Widowmine gets a good shot. The Bio started stepping back. BYUN's trading really well here. 5,000 resources ahead. It's going to split a triple drop into radar point medevacs. That's what we call the BYUN special. The BYUN special, guys, is where you basically get your children, you put them in a goddamn June buggy, and then you tell it to drive through a line of machine gun fire and say, don't worry, if you survive, it'll build character. The man's a psychopath who has no fear. He's boosting in. Oh my god. He starts unloading just in time. Drags the Queen aggro. BYUN! Oh my god. BYUN with a big misclick. He move commands his whole army into the fungal finding a parasitic bomb. Oh no. He did not realize he clicked that army in that direction. He must have F2'd somehow accidentally. Some accidental, disastrous mistake there for BYUN. And that was not very good for him. He will be able to deny this 5th base, or 6th base, I should say, on the right side. But he had such control and momentum. He does get a hatchery kill. Lurkers are now out. Solar is back up to 75 workers. Solar is creeping his way to the late game. Little by little, just hanging on and surviving. More Marauders, Marines, and Widowmines are building. The real risk for BYUN, guys, is he has a Ghost Academy, has no ghosts. There is both Vipers and Infestors and Lurkers out, and this man is not building ghosts. He's playing a momentum-focused style, and he just gave away every single last bit of momentum that he had in this game by throwing away that army, and he's refusing to play late game. Finally, he starts building ghosts, but he doesn't have orbitals. He's got 1,000 minerals. He's not building command centers. He's going to start now. He needs to get a move on with playing to this late game stage, unless he can get big damage done very soon. And with Lurkers out, Mass Baneling out, Infestors and Vipers, he's going to need to be a magician to find any damage. Clearing creep is doable, but actually pushing into solar is a pipe dream right now. Oh, here we go. Fungal lands. Nice fungal. The Ling Bane not really doing that good. I think the Lurkers need to move down here. Looks like a few Marines cancel a hatchery in the bottom right side. Parasitic Bomb did kill the medevac. Lurkers on the left going to go for a counterattack. Solar needs more Lurkers on the D. Just fighting with Ling Bane Hydra into Biomine. BYUN might be able to micro his way through that scenario. The Lurkers on the left have not really gone in. BYUN's busy microing at home. These Lurkers looks like they were queued up to burrow in the wrong position. He meant to burrow them down here, and he will do so. BYUN's starting to split some units over there. Those SCVs going to need to pull away. Ghosts will snipe one of those Lurkers. On the right side, the Marine Marauder getting chased back by the Ringbane Hydra Infestor. He's got a planetary he can fall behind, but he needs reinforcements on both sides right now. And Solar reasserting control over this game. Started bad. Solar had a great build choice, but he executed poorly in the early game. Since then, the game has gone back and forth. BYUN had massive control, but he never built a big work account. He's only on 57 workers, and this might just be the strategy he's opting for. A 65 worker tempo style. I will kill you on 3 or 4 bases or die trying. I will never make 80 workers. I will never make 10 command centers. I will try to win off of a limited base count. It's not a bad way to play, man. Does get a few of those lurkers. Lets a few of them escape, though, unfortunately, there for BYUN. Good for Solar. Solar's got an Overlord in the back. When he builds a Nidus Worm, he's got multiple areas he can pop that up. Hasn't found the cache for it just yet, as his 6th base is being rebuilt on the right side of the map. Your bases get spread very thin on Hecate. As you take a 5th and a 6th, it's so hard to defend. You're better off just attacking your opponent, because this base here, you can take. He's going to float an orbital over. And then you can take that base in front of it, but that's basically on your opponent's side of the map. And then this right side becomes wide open, which is exactly what Solar's about to take advantage of. A lot of ghosts there, a few marauders. He knows the army's nearby. Widowmine does get cleaned up. Catching a few banelings. Nice move out there for BYUN. Snipes a Hydralisk as well. Those banelings do escape the snipe range just barely. Personal cloaking on the way for those ghosts. Building armor, high-sec auto-tracking never got upgraded in this game. Neither side has really had an abundance of cash. BYUN, though, now has 5 orbital command centers. So he's added a little bit of longevity, but oh, burrowed Infestor! One from the right, one from the left! Double fungal from behind! In the rear with some fungal gear. Oh my lord! That man just gangrened BYUN's butt. That was absolutely deadly and a delicious maneuver. BYUN moving around in a big ball on the map was disgustingly dangerous, man. That was a big, dangerous move for him. The Marines do focus down the banelings very well, but there's lurkers behind that and more banelings behind that. BYUN still microing in a ball, but he's lost too many units. This is too good of a fight. The Hydra Lurker is too much for him. That tank is trying to hold the line. He cannot give up control of that siege tank, but he doesn't have the numbers to hold on. The Lurk is marching forward. The Hydras are breaking through the line, and as the siege tank falls, the Lurkers reign supreme. The Hydras rallying in. BYUN cannot hang on to his third base, and man, this was his game to lose. He had momentum, he had control, but that was absolutely devastating. GG, well played. Solar up 2-0. All right, guys, let's get in here. It is a 2-0 lead. Will Solar be able to finish it off? I mean, honestly, Solar is looking on another level recently. I feel like winning GSL has buoyed his confidence to new heights. Or buoyed, as you guys say in America. You guys say buoy for like the ocean thing. So so we say like buoyed, like he's so if do you guys say do you guys use buoy outside of using it as a flotation device? Oh damn, Sejiro, thank you so much for the huge wave of support. We'll give you guys big props after this series. Got 2 barracks on the natural, guys. It's a 2-Rax Reaper there. Thank you so much for the love, guys. So 2-Rax Reaper against Hatch Gas Pool. Notice he did not rally off minerals onto gas, so I don't think Solar's expecting this. I think after going gas pool, he's expecting BYUN to be a bit more conservative because this link speed won't be that early. It's not like it's super late, but normally, recently, Solar pulls workers off minerals, gets gas straight away, and the moment the pool done, starts link speed and just hammers for it. Apparently Americans do use just buoyed when it's a verb. Ah, that's interesting. Command center goes down. Reaper coming in. Alright, he's going to go in. Now let's see how much damage he can get. 4 lings on the way, 2 more coming out. It's going to be 6 Zerglings. Oh, good pullback for Solar. Very nicely done. And that Reaper gonna find a little bit of damage. Gets at least 1 Zerg. Can he target the red one? Oh, BYUN's micro is slick. You know what? Down 0-2. A lot of people would say, well, this is not looking good. But BYUN, he's down for the challenge. Where's that 3rd Reaper? Oh my god, the blue dots hide on the blue background of this map. Yeah, this map, actually, the blue background, I feel like we shouldn't be casting blue versus red players on this map. Not on a blue background map. Unfortunately, not something I can change after the game's being played. Green's taking a little bit of a beating, but I don't think that hatchery goes down. 6 more Zerglings building. That's 14 lings with ling speed finishing in 20 seconds. Hatchery is getting damaged. Oh, he's going for the queens. Oh, good focus fire, though. Solar with the punish. Says, no way, man. You're getting way too antsy. Ling speed's almost done. BYUN is a crazy what? Oh, BYUN's like, I don't even care about going home. I just want to kill another creep tumor. As long as I delay your creep, I'm happy. Bit of a crazy sacrifice for him. He's going to lose these Reapers. Finally does get that down. He's going to kill an extra Zergling. Can he get 1 more? No, not quite. So that, of course, his units lost in favor of Solar, but Solar had to build a bunch of Zerglings that he might not have wanted to. And it is going to be a quick... Whoa! Is that a mistake? No, he's actually going Banshee. Okay, BYUN's playing a Banshee follow-up. Interesting. Maybe worried about an all-in. Solar, you know, I said at the start he'll try to do a Baneling bust or something at one point in this series. BYUN might be expecting that. He might be thinking, oh, you know what? Let's get a Banshee. That'll keep me safe against any surprise Baneling all-in or anything like that. 3rd barracks very early as well. Makes it look like it's just going to be a big 2-base push, whereas most players will go 3rd command center after a 2-Rex Reaper opening. What? It's a Raven? Okay, so BYUN has decided I am going to use the Raven to auto-turret harass. And then I'm just going to join up and save a ton of mules, you know, that I can use for more mining because I don't have to use scans. It's not terrible. It can work and give you a lot of value. However, it's very unusual to see a Raven with a 2-base all-in. Because it takes a long time to give that value from clearing creep, normally you end up using a Raven with a 3-base build. Maybe a big 3-base 8-Rax push, but not with a 2-base build. I really want to see how BYUN plays this out. This is fascinating. He's also got 2 tech labs right now, which is very unusual for this matchup. I don't think this makes sense. And then he cancels a reactor. Okay, he's going to swap the factories around. This is a bizarre, but I think the factory should be using that tech lab. you can just make combat shields off this tech lab out front. I think BYUN's build might be made up, guys. I don't know if this is a build he's played before. This does not strike. You know when you see TY do a build for the first time, you're like, wow, that is amazing. This doesn't strike me as that. It strikes me as an interesting idea, but maybe not that refined. We'll find out as time goes on. It was only a very small inefficiency with the add-ons there. 4th gas going down before 3rd commands on it. Man, he's super committed. Raven going down that right side. Thank you so much, Dropship. Really appreciate the love, guys. Oh, Zergling up on that top right. We've got 1-1 upgrades on the way. Lair on the way. Baneling Nest does start producing right there. But it's kind of late. The upgrades won't be ready. He needs a lot of Zerglings, and he needs them now. Get out of there, Solar. Get out of there. Creep Tumor's getting caught. Raven on the right side comes in. Oh, you don't want to use the Raven to auto turret harass. This is the worst usage of a Raven you could possibly have. But he might find the damage on the front. The Marines are going to come in. The Queens started to take some damage. Okay, this is a bad fight for Solar. He doesn't have the Lings. His Ling count's a little bit too low right now, and the angle is really awkward with his Ling stuck behind his Queens. The high energy Queen goes down. Uh-oh. Queen's going to start focus firing a medevac, but a little bit too late. The problem with the Raven, guys, is now it's stuck in the back, which means he can't use it for clearing creep spread. He needs to try to get the Raven out of the base. Maybe if he goes along the bottom. There's a Spore Crawler there that I think will get some shots on him. The whole point of a Raven is to clear creep. It's one of the worst harassment units in the game. I mean, I guess you can stack up value with it over time, but there's already like Spore Crawlers in position. This doesn't strike me as the best way to use a Raven right now. BYUN doing a very confusing build. He starts a 3rd command center, but it's very late. He needs more damage. Baneling speed's not done. Oh my god, the Marines. Okay, the Siege Tank doing pretty well. The Marines getting jumped on by the Zerglings. All the Banelings are going, which means the Marines can excel. Solar chases out there, loses his whole army and just taps. That was a bad move by Solar, guys. Solar didn't realize what was happening. Oh, Solar had no info. Okay, guys, so Solar was playing under the assumption that there was going to be a 3rd command center floating at any moment. He just didn't realize how committed this was. He did not need to defend this 4th. He just needed to survive, wait for 1-1 in Baneling speed, and keep falling back whenever the tanks siege up. Choosing to fight here, a big mistake for Solar. He was miles ahead in this game, and he just kind of got a bit tangled up, jumping forward and taking a bad fight. Lack of information for Solar. The Raven was not an interesting or cool move at all with how he used it, but just good, solid Marine tank aggression. That first Marine timing got a lot of great damage, and BYUN set up for the surprise victory. Well played. Alright, guys. We've got Solar in the top right side, dropping a map there. Clearly confused about BYUN's build. The Raven may be throwing him off. Not sure why he built 3 Spore Crawlers that game for a Raven. A little confusing. And definitely just surprised by what BYUN was doing, as was I. I think there is an argument that I didn't think about, which is occurring to me now, for why the Raven is a good unit. Thank you, Cosmic, by the way. The Raven is associated with 3 base builds. Remember what I said, guys? 3 and 4 base builds. It's a macro unit that gains value over time. By opening with a Raven, BYUN conditioned Solar to expect a macro game. And then he did a 2-base all-in. And Solar went out and fought him, thinking, oh, this is just a small pressure. Gets his whole army wiped and goes, oh, crap, I'm dead. So was this BYUN on purpose saying, you know what? I might trick him into thinking this is a macro play simply by going for a Raven. And Solar never scouted. He didn't know there was no 3rd command center. It may have been a 300 IQ move. And this is the joy of StarCraft. Things that don't make sense on paper make sense when you account for player psychology. You never understand everything as a caster. I will always just think out loud. People sometimes hate on me for that. They say, yeah, you idiot, you were wrong. You were saying it didn't make any sense. I'm not going to, hedge every bet. I'm not going to say, well, I know this is just my opinion, but I don't at this moment understand exactly. I think that's kind of inherent in what I'm saying. Maybe I could, there are times I definitely can word things a bit better, and maybe I'm a little harsher because I don't understand stuff. I would say pretty high percentage of the time I'm on the mark though. So I'm pretty confident to keep doing that, but I'll always try to think about it and muse on it. If I don't understand something, I really try to puzzle it out and think about it. And I do think maybe BYUN was doing some 300 IQ play. Now he's going back here to the low IQ 3-Rex Reaper play. I say low IQ. It's basically, I'm going to out-micro you, man. I'm going to go 3-Rex Reaper. I'm going to out-micro you. I'm going to get damage done. and take you out. And Solar, he's got link speed on at a pretty good time, but it is a hatchery first. So it is kind of hard to deal with these first Reapers. Good Zergling micros so far. And the delay on the Queen is always so big with a 16 hatchery. And a good drone pull back there. Queen is out. Now, it's really important to spread creep between your bases. Oh, the other Reaper came in. He was looking for the drone kill. He ended up getting a Zergling. Oh, multi-prong. BYUN's doing multi-prong Reaper. He didn't spread creep. Uh-oh, Solar screwed up, guys. He forgot to spread creep between his bases. That's the most important creep. I've talked about this a lot and how Zergs keep screwing this up. And I keep saying Solar always spreads creep between the bases. You've got to learn from Solar. Don't make a dumb mistake. Solar's just not following his own rule right now, which is unfortunate. BYUN throws a Reaper into the Zerglings. Oh, no. BYUN. But you can see what I talk about with that lack of creep spread, guys. That's the most important tumor. Now he's throwing it down, but those Queens are going to be a little bit slow back to the natural. Reaper's looking for some damage. They're going to find a few Zerglings. Nicely done. Good micro here by BYUN. Remember, he's got that path on the left that he can jump down. Gets a few more Lings. 5 Reapers enough to now one-shot Zerglings, guys. That's powerful. 6 Reapers to one-shot drones. Command center is on the way behind this, as well as an engineering bay now, and his barracks add-on, so he wants to go for some well-upgraded bio. That's a very fast eBay. I like that the Lings on the right are hiding down there. He wants to flank and surround these units, but he doesn't have that many Zerglings yet. He definitely cannot fight it just yet. Hatchery! Oh, cancels at the last second. Okay, BYUN's going to micro into the corner. Solar. Oh, he gets rid of one of those Reapers. Nicely done. And the Reapers are going to back away for now. You're going to see a third command center. No, it's a factory, guys. So it's going to be... Oh, of course, this is 3 barracks, not 2 barracks. Of course, he's going to go for the delayed third command center. Go for that 3 Rex play. Mass Ling on the way. Guys, Mass Ling on the way. He is respecting the Reapers and there's being afraid of them. Solar may be on the side of being afraid of them. That is 32 Zerglings. He's only on 26 drones. Solar has a tendency to do this, where he massively overbuilds Zerglings. If he gets us surrounding your Reapers, it can be all worth it. Funnily enough, the Reapers, I don't think they have a way up. Oh, there is a ledge there. Bunch of Marines at the front here, guarding that tech lab. These Reapers should get back to the high ground. Oh, another Reaper does get surrounded. It takes out maybe 1 or 2 Zerglings there. At least he gets something for it. Third hatchery on the way. The droning is underway, but Solar is only now taking the worker lead for the first time in this game at almost 5 minutes. And guess what? Stim's almost done. Medivacs will be starting when the starport swaps over. That's a very, very slow build-up of drones in this game. Solar struggled with the first Marine pressure in the last game, and that was off a better opening. This time he's going to have a much better position. Ideally, Solar starts massing Queens and Zerglings from about 52 drones, and he should be fine. If he goes 55 drones, that's greedy. If he goes 60 drones, I would say he's dead. With how this early game's gone, you've already lost a bunch of units, but it's not just the units you've lost, it's the fact that you delayed droning so long. You had such a low economy for this whole early game. So keep your eyes on Solar's economy. Let's see how well he gauges it. He has no scouting, but it's a 3Rex Reaper. He can assume what's happening, and he should be playing very safe. He's going up to about 53 workers. Remember I said 52 is probably the perfect point to stop and mass Queenling. Queues up 2 more drones, 3 more drones. Uh-oh. Solar's going 55. If he goes 60, he's dead. I stand by that statement. He sees the Marines, so he won't go quite to 60. He's going to stop at 55. But that's a lot of Marines with Stim. Combat shields halfway done. 2 medevacs and 2 more Marines will be joining the front. BYUN pauses to grab a few more Marines. I think he realizes he doesn't want to fight till combat shields anyway, so he's going to wait another 40 seconds. I think Solar should be fine here. He's building Overlords, Lings, and Queens. 7 Queens are there. They're all up front, or at least 6 of them are. He's got 2 transfuses, 3, 4, 5 transfuses. He just injected, which took away a 6th one. Lings aren't there. Lings need to get down here. The Lings! What's he doing with his Lings? He just moved his Lings behind the Queen. Solar! Bad micro for Solar. He brought his Lings in late and blocked them behind the Queen. BYUN slaughters him. His Marines fix bayonets. And they spear those Zerglings apart. Oh no, Solar from up 2-0. Are we seeing the return of the unluckiest Zerg in the world? Has the GSL polish worn off already? Oh, I hope not. All right. Up here in the top right side. Solar, man, a couple of disastrous games here. And I just have to hope that he saves the tilt away. Because he was so far ahead in this series. He was looking dominating. And the last 2 games have been rather unimpressive. And BYUN's kind of getting some momentum back. Of course, he's going for the low ground depot yet again. Do we see a gas pool here? Doesn't look like it. Solar on 16. Sending a drone down to expand. It is Solaris, guys. This is the map on which Solar won his GSL championship. And I really do hope that his confidence, his newfound success from GSL carries forward. I don't like it when a player has a few weeks where they're looking amazing and then they kind of just have the same old results, you know, that they were having before. And you're like, oh, come on, man. I wanted to see him hit this new confidence and become like new mythical Solar level of confidence unlocked. I've been saying for a long time that Solar looks better than Maru in terms of certain fundamentals of Zerg versus Terran, and when those two play, that Maru has like the it factor of knowing how to adapt and take advantage of him and just rip him apart. And of course, anyone who's watched a lot of games knows that, well, guess what? Maru's a big reason why Solar doesn't win championships. He always blocks him. Solar's actually been shutting down Serral this year, doing really well versus so many top players, but it was only when Maru fell out of GSL early on that season, admittedly losing a match to Solar as well as to Scarlet in best of threes, that Solar was able to win. But let's see if Solar can get that confidence and really get it going. This is 3-Rax Reaper again. BYUN, I think he feels a psychological advantage. He feels such a high comfort level with this build. He can get in his rhythm, flow, and he knows that Solar handled the Reaper Rush so poorly in the last game. He's going to be a little bit traumatized. So BYUN is looking to take Solar from frustrated to 100% tilted, punching his desk, shouting in rage, and being so frustrated with himself. Because Solar, I've been saying, is the best player in the world at dealing with 2-Rax and 3-Rax Reaper openings, and people should stop doing it versus him. I've been talking about how everyone needs to learn from the little adjustments that he makes. So if he were to lose this to a bunch of 3-Rax Reaper builds in a row from up 2-0, I mean, it would just be the Solar of old. The really, really damn good, but holy crap to people reversal series a lot versus him. Holy crap does he take big nukes and big surprises to the face more than most players. Good Reaper micro so far, but good Zergling micro as well. Only a single Zergling died. He does bruise that Queen up real good. She's like down to like, what, 80 hit points, 50 hit points, 40? Ooh, you cannot lose a Queen. You cannot lose a Queen like this. Okay. He spreads creep between the bases this time. Solar fixes his mistake from the last game. Injects the natural. That Queen is going to hide in the back for now. Reapers jump in, Reapers jump out. They need to finish doing their drugs first. Notice they've injected their combat drugs. They are healing. Command Center starts behind this. He's going to go forward. He wants that ready point Queen so badly. Great micro by Solar. Great micro. Only loses one more Zergling. Link speed's almost ready. Solar's defended this way better than last time. Another Zergling goes down. Don't want to lose that Queen. Uh-oh, the Queens are going to go down. One of them falls. Okay, good snipe. Getting a Queen's always really juicy there. Solar's got to stay back. He's got a third hatchery going up down south. He's now got about, coming up to 24 Zerglings. Should be enough to surround this. It is 8 Reapers though, and it is BYUN. The question is, are there any ledges for him to micro on? Because if he doesn't get to a ledge, these Lings can just surround him. BYUN's micro is famous, but this is a scary map to be out here. BYUN's such a crazy man. Like, what the hell? How can you've seen Master Zergling, you're still hanging on this side of it. He's not going to stay there, is he? Oh my god. BYUN's gambling. He thinks Solar didn't build that many Zerglings and tried to be greedy. Solar made the mistake last time of building too many Zerglings and not getting a good use of them. This time he built a lot of Zerglings, but in a much more necessary manner. The Reapers are microing pretty darn well. I mean, they're getting some value. No. No way do they get out of here. No way do they win this fight. Okay, more Zerglings had to get built, and they rally in, and it looks like finally he kills those Reapers. Jeebus. How does he trade like that? This is reminiscent. Do you guys remember, I always talk about the series where Reyna built 18 Zerglings versus BYUN's 3 Reapers, and he A-moved the Reapers, and he looked at home and kept macroing, because he thought, he was so dismissive, he was like, well, it's 3 Reapers versus 18 Zerglings. Like, I don't even need to micro this fight. He looked back, and every single Zergling died, and I think he maybe killed 1 Reaper. And it was like, it was hilarious, and you could tell Reyna was super tilted. He's like, that's not meant to happen. Only BYUN can do that. Only BYUN can friggin' kill 18 Zerglings with 3 Reapers. And likewise in that last fight, it was 28 Zerglings for 8 Reapers, which it's a perfectly fine trade for Solar. Don't get me wrong, I think he's in the lead now. But it's just funny that the Reapers are able to get any value of such a high level. The problem with this follow-up is it's so predictable. And it's worked for him a few times, but I gotta say, on a strategic level, the way BYUN's playing is basically, I'm faster and better than you at StarCraft. And to be fair, that's kind of how BYUN plays StarCraft. We see this in fighting. Sometimes a person has the touch of death. Sometimes they have such good punching power. They're not that strategic because it doesn't matter, because as long as they find that one punch, they win. And I feel like BYUN plays StarCraft like that sometimes, where he finds a build order and he's like, oh yeah, I'm just going to out-micro you. I'm going to click my units faster. And now he finds himself pretty far behind in this game. He has a vicious timing. Solar's gone pretty greedy on the drones, going up to 60 workers here. But with 8 queens, almost 9, mass Zergling production on the way. Plenty of time before these Marines hit with Stim, Combat Shields, +1, and Medivacs. I think Solar should be able to get enough units. He's still trying to do it without Banelings, which I think is the best way to fight against BYUN. BYUN's micro is very good. He's really good at focusing Banelings down, so it becomes a very costly way to defend this sort of pressure. Massling Queen is a better way, but you need to have the critical mass. If you're a little short of the numbers, you will get absolutely destroyed. So it's a one-dimensional fight. It's a little binary in that regard. If the Terran dives in and commits and you're a bit low on the numbers, you get absolutely wrecked. But Solar hanging on pretty well. BYUN's not committing just yet. Oh, he goes for it. He goes for it. He goes for it. The Lings are trapped behind the Queens again. Yeah, you don't want to fight in that choke point. This is kind of nasty for Solar. Good positioning by BYUN. Oh, the Queens are doing pretty good, though. Good micro for Solar. I think Solar's okay. You don't really want to chase into a choke point. The Queens do some decent damage. They start to break that front line of Marines. More Marines are arriving. Oh, God. Oh, God. Solar chasing into the choke might have been a bad idea. BYUN trying to use this choke to his advantage with his exceptional micro control. Marines and tanks still holding onto this area. He's traded almost 2-to-1 efficiency. And actually, yeah, I think Solar should have maybe gone for a bit of a counterattack or something. Third command center still has not gone down. BYUN's building a 4th and 5th barracks. He's going all in. He's going full commitment. He cancels the 4th base. That one Marine says, "Da, drone." Does pop that boy into a bunch of chunks of Zerg meat. Solar's Baneling speed, still 50 seconds from finishing. His 1-1's almost there, so he will take an upgrade lead. Oh, BYUN, nice hot pickup. Good reactive medevac micro. Ling's going to go around south. BYUN did raise his wall off, so his units are derping out right now. Bit of an F2 by the looks of it. Good tank positioning. A few Marines and medevacs are up front. Like that. Most of the Marines are guarding the tanks. The rest are here. He doesn't have enough scans to clear the creep, though, which means the Lings can flank him very nicely. The Marines doing pretty well. The tanks on the back go down. The tanks on the front go down. The Marines get hit by the Banelings. The slow Banelings, the little waddly boys, walk right up and they shoot that virile payload all over those Marines. And that's a good hold for Solar. He closes the gap in the units lost. He's got control of a 4th in the bottom. His creep spread looking solid. BYUN is all in on 2 base. He doesn't even have add-ons on the 4th and 5th barracks. He's basically saying, I need enough units to kill you and kill you now. He's already behind an upgrade, and guess what? 2-2's on the way. Solar has the numbers, but he's let these Marines out-position him. Hatchery on the bottom is going to take a lot of damage. Not sure if he'll get there in time to save it. Ling's over there counterattacking, seeing no 3rd base. Solar not going down here in time to save the 4th. Uh-oh, that's kind of a mistake, man. Banelings are rolling. Oh, big Baneling hits! BYUN was not expecting Solar to split a few Banelings forward like that. Medevac in the south almost goes down as well, but Solar is back to 3 base. As long as Solar's on 3 bases, BYUN can basically hunt for really efficient fights in really brutal positions. He's going to try and move these tanks forward. No, he's going to rotate. Okay, so he's going to rotate south and try to clear this area, but this area is much more wide open. And I think that pulling back is actually a very wise decision. Right now it's 3 tanks, 33 Marines, and a few Liberators coming in. Liberators can really add to the power of this. Solar's still massing Queens right now. Queens has never been my favorite response to these sort of pushes, but in the hands of the best Zergs in the world, the Queens really are just the tankiest value unit you can get against this sort of push. I love the Lingbane counterattack, getting ready to strike in. It's a good way of shutting down any future follow-ups, but now that BYUN sees the Banelings, you're going to have to just pull back. Luckily only losing a single Baneling, so good reactions by Solar. Liberators in the top. Queens are going to move in. Nice transfuses. Nice transfuses, man. Going to lose only 2 Queens here, I think. Maybe a 3rd one goes down, but 3 Queens for 2 Liberators is a good trade for Solar. He's already massing Queens, so that was a bit of a risky move for BYUN. Doesn't pay off. He does snip the front of the creep off, but uh-oh. That's a massive Ling Bane army. 37 Bane, 60 Zerglings. 2-2 is about to kick in. If BYUN fights versus 2-2, he's going to need incredible positioning. And don't get me wrong, it's good positioning. Solar, though, wisely just gives up the base and says, I don't need it. I'm 3 base, you're 2 base. Why would I fight in the position where you want to fight when I don't have the upgrade lead? Let's wait for the upgrade lead, take a new 4th, and wait for our opportunity. What is this? What is... No, bad Solar. Don't... You need a lot of Zerg. You do not want to roll that into tanks. Guys, if he rolls that into tanks, that will be so cost efficient for BYUN. Masslink counterattack comes in. Tanks and Marines ready at the rally point. Third base has landed on location. BYUN is now creeping his way to a macro game. He added an armory, a second engineering bay, and this is all BYUN's doing. BYUN is overcommitting to army. He's sacrificing upgrades in economy, but it allows him to get very annoying positions where Solar doesn't want to fight. And he's waiting for Solar to make bad calls. I always feel like this style, you're poking, you're prodding, you're setting up in really good positions, and you're trying to pressure the Zerg into taking really bad fights. ZVT is all about the Zerg refusing to fight where the Terran wants to fight and counterattacking and expanding away from the Terran and taking new bases. But BYUN's whole style is, I'm happy to be behind in bases and upgrades. I'm just going to hunt with all of my efforts, all of my focus for that disgusting angle where I can outposition you and force you to take a terrible engage. BYUN's shuffling forward on the front right now, guys. He's moved his tanks forward. Into the boosty zone is always incredibly scary. Tank on the right side will be nice, though. You can see that tank's moving over there. Double lib comes in from behind. The Marines join in. Oh, if he gets rid of the Queens, no way! He catches the Queens and the Hydras. The libs join up with the Marines in a deadly, deadly attack. One lib goes down. The Marines pick up at the last second and pull away. Oh my god, that was devastating. The Marines are going to try and guard that tank. The tank on the left is firing a little bit as well on those units. The Marines need to pick up. Oh my god, he doesn't pick up! BYUN wets the bed there. The Marines get dropped in behind the natural. Those are doing damage. He may have been microing these well, but losing so many Marines on the bottom. It was such a good fight. And then it's all for naught. But that being said, he does get 9 drones here. Medevac saves on the natural. Medevac saved in the main. Hydra's chasing after it. Not quite able to clean it up. And a new army coming forward. He swapped into Biomine. He's got equal upgrades. It's 2-2 versus 2-2. That Medevac gets shot down. Nice plays there. Lingbane Hydra in the top does defend the drop. Only 1 Marine up there. The tanks down here left in the bottom. I'd love to see him pick those up and join them up with the rest of the army. I don't think leaving 2 tanks and 4 Marines is the best. I think BYUN's basically playing a psychological mind game where he says, hey, you're going to run in with Lingbane, get shot by a tank and pull back, and you're going to assume there's a big army here. See what he's doing? He's using a very, very small force to scare Solar off the map. Solar's not taking the bait. Solar's going to jump on it, but that means he's exposed on the top. The Lingbane Hydra will jump on these tanks, but oh me, oh my, will he get punished on the top? Oh yes, he will. That hatchery's going down for shoresies. Biomine in the bottom getting surrounded, swarmed by Solar. Actually, the hatchery survives in the top. Solar hangs on. Solar hangs on to his 4th base. That is the most important bit. BYUN comes in with this Marine drop. He's going to unload a single Marine in the back of the base, trying to just distract Solar with that more than anything. Banelings connect yet again. BYUN only saves 1 medevac worth of units. These fights are not good. He is going very badly. Luckily, that Widow Mine fires again. But look at the units lost tab. He's only 2,000 resources in his favor. What? Solar just canceled a 5th base, guys. Why did he cancel a 5th base? A bizarre decision for Solar. I think that was a pretty good base. Tank's getting caught out as well. BYUN's getting a little bit too fast and loose. His 4th command center may be done. He's adding 2 more barracks to build tech labs on. He does have +3 weapons and armor on the way, as well as concussive. But this is going to be really hard for BYUN because he's just so outnumbered. Ooh, a couple of Zerglings or Banelings roll in. Get 2 SCVs only. Siege tank on the high ground. Sergeant Chadhammer stands at a post defending the boys. Drop in the back is ready to go in. Big Biomine spready. Vipers are here. Adrenal Glands is almost done. It's not going to be there for this fight. Bane Hydra rolling forward. Hydras are really good. Ooh, that Widow Mine got a good shot. Parasitic bombs on the medevacs would be great. Don't want to lose the Vipers though. Notice the Hydras are going forward, but they don't have an Overseer. Ow. Oh, that's a big Widow Mine splash. Oh, ow, 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 ow. Bit of a mistake there for Solar on the micro. Gets punished, loses a bunch of Hydras for that. Watch out for the Abducts. Abducts would be bigger here. I guess Parasitic Bomb makes more sense because he hadn't picked up yet. There's a tank behind this. The Widow Mine just killed so much bio. Oh my god, we just saw the Widow Mine kill so much bio. Oh, the classic double or triple stimmed bio. That's like, hey, we've barely been touched. We've only taken stim damage. We're doing good. And then the Widow Mine just fires into the pack of Marines and you're like, see you, mate. And you're like, oh my lord. It just takes one stupid Widow Mine to ruin what was a pretty nice engagement with the kiting for BYUN. Does defend that base. He's still attacking up here right now. It is 3-3 about to kick in. Up against 2-2. Lurkaden's on the way. Solar has taken the rich gas base on the bottom. He's decided that's the easier base to defend, and fair enough. His whole army's in the north right now. Oh god, watch out for that Widow Mine. Good spready on the Zergling. Don't know if that was on purpose or not. That Widow Mine got a big shot though. Units lost tab, 5,000 resource advantage for BYUN. He somehow has this way of doing this. Behind in economy, behind in upgrades. He's now ahead in upgrades, not too far behind in economy, as he makes an orbital command center on his 4th. High risk, high reward play for BYUN. It's all about, I will try to get you. I'm not going to have any insurance. Everything is the aggression. Everything is the attacking. I will not have a backup plan. Just go, go, go. Good hot pickup that time around. And he does try to move right. He's going to rotate south, realizing there's a lot of Hydras there. Army comes in. Drop does get F2'd. Uh-oh. Bit of an F2 there for BYUN. That drop in the main will get shot down by the Queens. Baneling's rolling forward. The Widowmine's trying to defend. They clear a lot of the Zerglings. One of the medevacs and a few Marines do go down. The medevac barely gets out on the red hit points. Good noticing that for BYUN. He will redrop in the main base. Units lost tab is 6,000 resources now in favor of BYUN. He drops in the main. Solar is trying to respond, but Solar's creep control is limited. His lurk attack has not really kicked in just yet. He has the den, but no upgrades for the lurkers. Attacking the south at the same time, coming on in. Oh, there's a few Banes and Hydras. Nice parasitic bomb, and a second one. Oh, that's a nasty. That is a very nasty move. Great play there by Solar. Shuts down the drop in the main as well. Big attack here on the left, though. This is going to be coming in, looking for more damage. This base of Solar barely hanging on. The fact is, though, BYUN has let him mine from the rich gas for a while. I think maybe he's only just noticed this base is here, and I feel like that should have been a higher priority, trying to attack this base on the front. He's now rallying units in, dropping on the low ground and the high ground here. Hydra trying to hang on, the Marines doing what they can. Here comes the big attack, and that rich gas base will go down. Great attack there for BYUN on the high ground as well. Oh, Fungal could ruin his day, but no Fungal is there. The Marines go into the main base. On the south as well, starting to run in. Viper gets taken out with the Lurkers. Oh, he jumps on the Lurkers. A clutch play for BYUN if he can get through. He takes a few big volleys, but the Lurkers fall. He redrops on the 3rd at the same time. No way. No way. Not with how this game was going earlier. Solar had such a good spot for a while, but BYUN has got to be the nastiest aggressive 2-base into ramshackle macro game player I've ever seen. You might be like, oh, it's a macro game. He's on 57 workers. He doesn't even have an 8th barracks. I don't think he ever built a 2nd factory. He didn't. He's still on 1. He's building orbitals on his 4th and 5th base. He's lifted. This is his main base that lifted out to take a 5th. BYUN is in the most peasant macro game of all time, but it doesn't matter if you're playing peasant TvZ if your micro is god tier. This man could fight with a wooden stick and beat a man with two bloody giant scimitars. He could take on 6 samurais with his bare hands because his micro and his multitasking is disgusting. It's so hard to deal with, and his ability to maneuver on these maps is massive until he walks into Fungal. Oh my god. And it wouldn't be BYUN if he wasn't so tunnel visioned on a drop that he F2'd his army into giant Fungals. But it's too little too late because Solar's economy is already gone. It's already gone, man. Sometimes, you know, BYUN does pick a fight with an entire village at once and walks in there and gets surrounded. But he's already done so much damage. He's burnt their houses and their crops. Microbial Shroud gets panic clicked down. That's a misclick. There's just not enough units here for Solar. He is way too outnumbered, especially with the bio coming in from both sides. That is a pretty damn nice hold for BYUN. Well, actually, no. No. Does Solar... No. Solar's breaking in right now. If Solar had just a few Zerglings on these top bases, he could win this game. Dude, the Lurkers are getting insane value. The Lurkers are getting insane value right now. Solar is desperately trying to kill him. He abducts the tank from the high ground. 2 Marines kill a hatchery over there. These bases are still mining with 0 defense. A single unit shuts it down. What is happening in this game? BYUN, did he just clutch defeat from the jaws of victory just the same way as he did on Hecate by walking into Fungal? No way. A couple Hydras and Zerglings getting surrounded by +3 armor SCVs. That is a hilarious engagement. Lings find this base. BYUN. Oh my god. Solar might actually make the comeback. What in the hell is going on right now? These SCVs, mineral walking, somehow get through the lurker spines. Oh my god, he's going to stem on top, but his army's so damaged, he needs to get rid of these lurkers. BYUN has an army supply advantage. If he can get rid of the lurkers, he might be able to do this. He's lost all of his economy. Both sides are down in the dumps. What a disaster of a series this is. It is fantastic. Scrappy StarCraft. 69 supply for Solar. He's in the lead, but he's still down on army supply. And remember, mules are a thing. 30 SCVs or 13 SCVs versus 30 drones might sound like a massive advantage for Zerg, but not when you account for 4 orbital command centers. Solar needs a little bit more damage. Oh man, I can't believe BYUN just hung on. I can't believe BYUN just managed to hold on there. He's building more libs. We've got Lings and Hydras on the way. No redroning for Solar. He's transferring drones between these bases. He's got a few minerals on his natural, a couple in his main, a few there and there. And Solar is basically just making a few banelings. He pulled off gas, then put back on gas. That's his only gas that's mining right now. And man, what an absolutely ridiculous game this has been. It was so done. Like, BYUN had the game in the bag. And man, that fungal ambush into Lurker counterattack was actually wild. Solar was up 2-0 in this series as well, guys. He was up 2-0. Oh, I think we might be seeing the return of the unluckiest Zerg in the world, man. Oh no, I don't want to get superstitious, guys. I don't want to get superstitious, but man, what a ridiculous... And now he's almost brought it back. I mean, if he gets the perfect fight, maybe. But look at this setup for BYUN. Look at this setup. The Marauders up front. Abducting a Liberator is a nice move. He's going to have to try and... I mean, if he had a fungal maybe for the Marauders. A Lurker comes in on that base. Lings on the top. Nice run bys. I mean, he's wrecking his economy. He abducts another Liberator. That one Viper is just going to keep abducting Liberators over and over. But he can't lose this base is the problem. Oh, he retargets the Widowmine, but the Ling Bane takes it out. The Hydras are going to take out the Lib. Lib takes out one of the Hydras and then goes down. Dude, no way! No way! He does it! He had Lings in both mineral lines. BYUN lost his entire economy, and he actually gets the win. You are kidding me. You're kidding me. He got Lings down here. Oh, Lurker down here. Lings up here. And he actually breaks it with the single Viper abducting multiple libs. No way! Oh my god, what a disaster of a series. What a disaster of a series. That was a crazy one. BYUN threw on Hecate by walking his army. Well, not through, but a big mistake. And he did it again here on Solaris. And Solar making an epic comeback even after that army being thrown. Solar was down like 40 supply. He had next to no economy, but he brings it back. And that high risk, high reward style, no planetaries on the expansions costs him. What an awesome series. I hope you enjoyed that. GG, well played.